anonymous message. So the people writing messages in the bathroom halls, or the bathroom stalls, right? It's still happening, and you saw how ugly it can get. We know how ugly it can get. Anytime you have kids, it will get ugly. So right now, I really just started seeing this blowing up in July because I coach with Nike. So I was over at Nike headquarters with like the top 150 best high school football players, and they were starting to get on. And these are kids who have anywhere between 5,000 and 50,000 followers. So if they're posting it to their friends, the kids around here soon follow. And I think about 5 to 10% of the kids here already have it. Be careful when your kid is downloading this app, or if they also, you see it on their Instagram profile. That's one of the places they put it. Because this is still a link. Like the Sarah, you have to post a link and people have to click the link in order to give you feedback. So they're putting it in their Instagram profiles. They're putting it on, they're linking it to their Snapchat feeds. So that's something that we have to dig once, 2 steps deeper. But find out why they have it, what they're trying to get from it, and also if they've received any negativity from it. Because bullying obviously is very prevalent online. If your kid's getting bullied, tell them to screenshot that thing, send it to the administrators over here. The administrators over here might just defer you to the police, because that's how a lot of schools are dealing with bullying now. Especially because they become very racist, very misogynistic, very, more than just bullying very quickly, because that's what kids see. They think it's okay. They don't know better, but they haven't learned that yet. That's our job.
And they think oftentimes they're anonymous.
And they think it's anonymous. So, we have like 10 more minutes, and I know we've talked on this already. I kind of already like the dialogue that we're having right now because we're really getting the good stuff. So I'm gonna save the last 5 minutes for exactly what I taught your kids and the quick questions you can have with them in the car on the ride home today or like tomorrow, or just kind of remind them to be more cognizant of social media behaviors. So, yeah, we talked about all this. So permanence, right? Everything online is saved. Everything on there is forever. Right now, if they mess up, they're fine. Just tell them to delete it. Tell them to understand why they posted it, why it's not okay to post things like that online, and then the lesson that they received from it. Everyone can make up from having a failure, right? If you fail, it's okay, as long as you learn from it. It's one of the adages, you never get beat by the same play twice, right? So if you get beat, don't get beat again by the same thing. And then the funny joke that y'all can tell them, I told them today, it's if we can forgive Justin Bieber, then we can forgive him.
What's World Star?
Oh, so World Star is one of these online websites and social media accounts that are really popular within the middle school and high school boy age group because they post a lot of fight videos, they post a lot of
I'm sorry, is it an app or a website?
Oh, it's a website. It's a website, but they have an app too. It's not a social networking site. It's a website, it's a news media site where people, when they see fights, they take videos and they start yelling World Star and they send it in. It's a cultural thing now. So anytime if you see a fight, if y'all are out like in downtown or anywhere and something breaks out, you're gonna see a whole bunch of cameras get pulled out and you're gonna hear probably several 20-somethings yell World Star, World Star. Because that's the thing, if you look at World Star videos, people are always yelling because they know that's where they're gonna get sent to. So, it's that shocking content, yeah. So this is what, right? So this is what I taught them about. So this is the stack. This is like a 4-level, realistically, these are 4 different types of content that I told them that they need to create in order to achieve that ideal student image. So this is what I worked with the admissions directors, college ADs, and the university presidents. So 90% of college admissions directors are background checking people online. They're background checking them to verify for awards. They're background checking them to verify the extracurriculars that they say they had in their applications. But they're also doing that same 30 to a minute scroll down their Facebook and Twitter and Instagram feeds to see if they're a moral and good character fit within that university. So are they gonna background check everybody? No, that's impossible. Well, no, there's a lot of online apps and a lot of companies that will background check people for you when they'll red flag things, right? So they might. But when they're scrolling down that, they're just looking and seeing what they can find. They don't care about the context of what those posts or those pictures were taken in. They don't have enough time to dig through it. They're just gonna look at it and they're gonna say, oh, we can't invite this person on our campus. And then they're gonna go to the next applicant out of thousands, right? So did everyone hear about what happened at Harvard earlier this summer? No. Yeah, so Harvard admitted all of their freshman incoming students, and then they included all of them into a private Facebook group. So they wanted to include them into a private Facebook group so they could get to know each other, they could start, researching each other, see what kind of common hobbies and interests that they have, and so the kids can start interacting with each other. What that quickly turned into is people making a lot of jokes, right? Because that's what happens when you get a whole bunch of 18-year-olds together. They start making jokes. And then they started posting racist pictures in that Facebook group because apparently it's okay to joke about that late last summer, right? It's not. First of all, it's 100% never okay to joke about racism, misogyny, or any of those things that discriminate against these protected classes or anyone else, really. I'm a big proponent of positive vibes and positive energy, right? So these students started liking and started posting more racist memes in that group. They started liking it and commenting on it, and then they started fueling that fire. Because when you get a whole bunch of 18-somethings together, they start perpetuating each other's negative acts. Harvard saw that because that's part of all those students' digital footprint. That's part of their resumes. Harvard withdrew the acceptances of 15 students that summer, weeks before school started. Because the types of people who post racist memes are not the types of people they want to allow in their campus community. Those are the moral, gauges that these schools have, and that's also the way that they're background checking the kids. I know I've been to a lot of private schools in the last couple months, and the one thing that they keep on telling me is, you can't just talk about colleges and jobs. Like, I'm the admissions director at this high school, and I turn down kids because I just Google them and I just open up their account and I see them posting dumb things. And they're like, yeah, you gotta backtrack that one more. Because I guarantee the director of student life here, I'm sure he follows the students online here. And when he hears about anything, especially from the kids, it's very easy for him to go look them up. And actually, he told me that today too. So anytime someone talks trash about a coach, he hears about it, he looks it up, he prints it out, and he has a conversation with that kid. And that's just the type of pulse that these administrators and these teachers have on the kids on this campus. But still, it's hard to keep track of every kid if they have 3 different accounts, right? So this is what I taught them. The next 4 slides are going to teach you the exact types of content that your students should be creating and in what proportion to achieve that ideal student image. So when that admissions director is checking them out, they're going to see exactly what they want to see. When your next employer is checking out their social media accounts, you're going to see what they want to see. If their friends or the next boyfriend or girlfriend or anyone in their life starts Googling them and then starts looking at it, they're going to see more of their real self, as opposed to the person who just wants to post shocking material just to make friends, Because that's not who they are. Ultimately, these are all really good kids. And it's up to us to teach them. So I equate this, like the front page of your social media account, to your digital resume, right? So if your online presence is your digital resume, then this front page is your 30-second elevator pitch. Is everyone familiar with what a 30-second elevator pitch is? Yeah. So, take for example, you're in the 4th floor of a building, you walk into an elevator. The boss or the CEO of the company that you really want to work at walks in right after you. You have from the 4th floor to the 1st floor, tell them who you are, what you want, and why they should hire you. So, when someone opens up your social media account, that profile that you're in control of, that you can control 100% of every single word of, that's the first thing they see. That's you setting the scope of what you want your visitors to think about you. And then you start scrolling down, And that's the content that you're creating, that's what you value, because you're valuing it enough to actually spend time to share it with the public. So, this is what we talked to them about. We talked about brand awareness, talking about their brand reputation. And then, most importantly, because as soon as I start talking about that, they're like, all right, who do you want me to be? Do I gotta be someone else? No, nobody else. Because the first 25% of content that they should be sharing is about their personal interests. So this could be the hobbies that they have. This could be, I know some people were talking about, they liked watching makeup tutorials, so they would be posting about makeup. Some people like fishing. Some people liked, hanging out with their friends, hiking, doing painting, doing any of that stuff. This changes. Like, it changes over time because people's interests change. But the more you share about your personal interests, the more the people around you will see what kinds of things you enjoy, how you spend your time. And then you'll be able to connect with the people who might have similar interests with you, right? So we're creating this not only to make us look good, but to also put a little bit of ourselves out there that we want to share. We don't need to share everything. It's only people get to know what we post online. And if I want to reach out to, I like fishing, so when I talk about fishing, when I go to the beach, I have my friends who also want to go. They start contacting me and letting me know, like, hey, next time you go, I'm in, right? So that's a way, a benefit that they can derive from it, where they can still be their true selves and they can still share about that. The second 25% of content, the second piece of that pie is extracurricular activities. They're already spending their time doing these things.